Father Arupe says that our Jesuit students must be engaged in analysis of injustice in the world. And they must understand that to benefit from political and economic structures that oppress others is active oppression. It is a form of active oppression. And not only must they not be drugged, he said, or asleep in that reality, they must work to dismantle such structures. It's quite clear, and I think that this is one way of living what Father Arupe is asking.
My name is Christina Clark. I am from a town called South River in central New Jersey. This is my third year at St. Peter's College, and I am a nursing student.
Well, my name is Noel Borges. I'm a junior at St. Peter's College, a double major in political science and sociology.
I'm Arpan Rizal. I'm an international student at St. Peter's College. I'm from Nepal, Kathmandu.
Anthony Fiumadanisi. I've been a product of Jesuit education. I'm a Fairfield Prep graduate, and I'm a junior at St. Peter's. And I've had the pleasure of having Anna Brown this semester for social justice, and she really kind of opened my eyes to the injustices that are going on in the world. And I thought this would be an interesting kind of segue into studying more about it, and I wanted to come and learn and see what other people thought.
I'm Neve Sarno. I'm a graduate student at St. Peter's College. This is now my 6th year at the School of the Americas protest, and I come every year because I like to see other students with the same mindset that I'm in.
My name is Mohammed Awadallah. I'm a junior at St. Peter's College in Jersey City, New Jersey. Well, this is my 3rd year coming down here with Dr. Brown on a delegation of students.
My reactions to the whole experience was, again, I'm completely moved by the fact that there are thousands and thousands of people that all meet at this one place, far away from their home, and we're able to just come together and, be there for each other and be there for the people who've had their family members been murdered or just disappeared.
Well, this time it seems like there's more young students, like high school age students. I feel like there's less college students, but that's good because that means the community is growing as a whole.
I found it really inspiring this year how young the crowd has got. The message is being spread. Obviously, the crowds keep getting bigger. The first year I came, it was all colleges, and now it's high schools, middle schools, and I think that's a great message. Everyone seems to know about the School of the Americas now, so the word is getting out about the badness.
They walked in with candles, the students, and they placed them on top of the stage, and they had a little altar made of candles, and they dimmed the lights, and so it looked really nice with the candles in the background and the speaker on stage. So it had like an intimate setting. Even though there were like thousands of students, it felt really intimate and like you were hearing this person in a small room speaking to you one-on-one.
Again, the singing and the fact that we were all there in a community, praying together and singing together, and some people crying together and comforting each other, and it's amazing.
My sense of the student response is, first, they're kind of stunned that what they're given an example of is students who take life seriously, that it's not all about partying, it's not all about having fun. It is about paying attention to what's going on in the world. And when they see students give a presentation in front of 4,000 of their peers, and it's quite evident that these are well-read, articulate students who've been around the world, that there's a whole world out there. So, boy, are they ever challenged by these other Jesuit students.
I was given the opportunity to speak at the Ignatian Teach-in, one of the student speakers. So for the 2 weeks leading up to it, I was just very anxious and was excited. At the Ignatian conference, finally, when I had the opportunity to speak, and I had been preparing for so long for this, I was pretty nervous speaking in front of almost 5,000 people, but definitely enjoyed it. It was definitely an opportunity that I took advantage of.
There are certainly workshops on any number of topics in the social justice area, and I do see students becoming more engaged and interested and studying harder, actually.
It's funny because I went to a program about food service provider, and I'm the marketing manager for Sodexo on St. Peter's campus, so I had more than plenty to offer to that. And actually, it was nice because I had a lot of insight, that stuff that I just do on my own, and it was good to kind of pass those along to people who are looking for the same equality amongst the workers and stuff, and how I handle situations. And it was nice because I have a lot of experience with that, and it was more of like a first-line perspective for that. So I'm glad I got to pass that knowledge.
During the Ignatian Teach-in, there were breakout sections. One I attended was about the environment. It was sustainability and how to motivate people and get involved in the 21st century environmental sustainability.
What I found very, 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 very good and very significant was they didn't only focus on protest. They focused on. There was a conference and they focused on learning, like what's happening in the world, what should you be doing, and how can you do this. And when you go to, I've been to a lot of protests, but they don't really, they have an agenda. But over there, it was very great to know that they were focusing on a lot of things around the world.
And deaths. Father John Sabrino.
And I saw Father Sabrino's talk, and he said something very inspiring to me. He said that love is not a common commodity these days, and it's much easier to hate somebody with all the violence and the hatred of the political parties, even our own country, Democrats calling Republicans idiots, Republicans calling Democrats thieves, everything. It's just much harder to, be at war and be in an unrest than it is to be structured and settled. So I like events like this. We're all together. We're all from different religions, different beliefs, different ethnicities, different sexualities. Everything is different, but yet we're all here for the same thing. So that's very inspiring for me. That's why I come.
I think Sabrino's amazing. I think he's an amazing speaker. He has an awesome presence, and he really connects with people. I also heard him speak earlier in a different room, and he got a standing ovation. He's really down to earth, and he's a good speaker. He connects to you on an emotional level, and everything he's gone through, I think, is an inspiration to all of us.
So you could tell that the students that were here this year really, really, truly wanted to be here. Well, the first day is hard because not all the schools are there the first day. They don't come until the second day, and then everyone is there for the Mass. The puppet show was nice. The music associated with the puppets is what I find absolutely incredible. The fact that they're just carrying around like plastic pails, and they're making this beautiful just music with it to accompany the actual puppet show, which is gorgeous in and of itself. It's brightly colored, and it's an amazing display.
And one of the most, probably the most interesting and most moving was the last day on Sunday when we had, it was sort of a vigil where the names of the people who died in El Salvador and throughout Latin America, the names were mentioned, the age, and afterwards as a group, almost 20,000 people would say presente, in a sense to bring them alive.
Sister of Oscar Romero, Natalia Romero de Orellana, 64 years old.
That was very moving. Every time I heard a child's name and it would say 9, 10 years old, I would think of my niece. Or every time I would hear someone in the age around 50, I would think of my parents. Around 20, I would think of myself. So in a sense, I put myself into those shoes and said, why is this not happening to me? And if it was, would I act differently? Would I really be motivated to make some change? And that really motivated me to want to pursue a career in politics and to be one of those people who can bring change to injustices around the world and throughout Latin America. So it was definitely very moving.
thing I'm thinking of is the U.S. bishops, the peace pastoral that they wrote, particularly addressing nuclear weapons. But at the end of that pastoral letter, they say, peacemaking is not an option, it is a requirement of our faith. And so I think that this trip helps all of us together fulfill that requirement. You know, it's certainly one step in that direction.
I've always been aware of what it means to be educated by the Jesuits, and the slogan, men and women for others, for the greater glory of God. After a while, it seems, well, these are things we just stand for. But attending events like this really lives out and puts these slogans into practice.
Joaquin Lopez y Lopez.